It feels like this budget thing has taken forever, but it took a lot of years to get this way. It's gonna take some more time to get it fixed. It just
Right.
is. There's nothing I can do about that. So,
What do you think?
Just 1 minute here.
Oh,
Yeah, so you said we have a lot of work, but how long is that work gonna last? I mean, what's your ETA on the work? I mean, yeah, you got a bunch of work, but how much of it's actually gonna be contractors versus city employee type stuff?
Well, the reason we're looking at
Like,
a
we
full-time.
got behind,
Yeah.
we got behind for a while when we didn't have a city worker, but once you get caught up, is there still gonna be enough work to keep 2 people going?
According to, well, just judging from past working hours and things that we had to do over the years, I would say that we would probably have enough to keep 2 guys busy. And they could always, we could always change that schedule later if we have to.
So what's the difference being that if kept in part-time, letting work hours up till 40,
Yeah, when,
but not
well, if
terminology?
he goes full-time, it's 40 hours, and then we pay time and a half overtime. Right now, he's part-time, so he doesn't do the full, and if he does do 40 hours, he still doesn't get paid time and a half overtime, he only gets paid his
Up
regular.
to 40.
Right, up to 40 hours.
deal then to
If
benefit.
he worked over 40, we'd be well paid.
And if he's full-time, then he would get benefits also, so.
The benefits are,
that's quite a difference. Benefits are, I wish I had your invoice, but it's up there.
Yeah, it is, and we're gonna get a substantial percentage this year, a raise. I mean, it's gonna raise.
It went up 5.6%. It's not huge.
That's
Huge
substantial
increase.
from last year.
No, most insurances go up 12 to 20 to 30. I mean, that's actually really small as far as insurance increases go.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
I
one.
think last year ours was 2.7.
Yeah, but MMA is always 5 is not major. But what, do you remember what your check was that we just printed for
It was
MMA?
like 13.90 something.
Right, so that's
Yeah,
for
it's about
2, so
really
half that, the 650, 700 a piece.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at.
Mhm.
in benefits.
so that would have to be added on to the increase.
Well, we definitely would have to discuss it, as far as looking at budget and everything else, because,
Well, I'd say then, if we only got to limp through 3 more months, right now, we're in the thick of the work, and, I mean, we're keeping our head above water. When we get a real number from her, then we revisit it, and then that way, too, touch base with Jake, he's good for the school year and all that. Because once we have the numbers, I have no problem.
so do you want to table it for right now,
I would say we ought to table it
until we get more
until we
information?
get a little more information.
Keep him on part-time, but don't worry if he gets up to 40 hours.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Try to keep him under 40 qualifies part. What's the number to qualify as full part-time?
It's, as soon as you hire him full-time, he's entitled to benefits.
Right.
But if you don't know if you can afford that,
We can
That's it.
keep it
But,
keep it part-time and still,
right, your position's designated part-time, so even if he hits 40, and he hits 40 consistently for several weeks, he's still designated part-time and not benefit eligible.
okay.
So that's the difference,
Mhm.
is if you designate him full-time, then he's benefit eligible right away. If you designate him part-time, but he happens to work full-time on occasion, then you're still okay benefit-wise, you don't have to offer that. And
So let's keep it that way until,
We'll table it till, when do you figure this?
I am really, really hoping to have your budget is technically due in October. I'm really hoping that we have it done by then. If we don't, we'll ask for an extension, we'll deal with that as it comes. I can't predict anything with certainty, but my hope is to have it done on time. But that's gonna be really dependent on how things go between now and October. So,
And then you, by October, you'd have a better idea of where we stand.
I would hope so, yeah, we'd at least be headed in the right direction at that point.
Okay, so
will that be by meeting time October, or should we table it to November?
Your budget is technically due the first Thursday after the first Tuesday in October.
first Thursday after the first two.
So your meetings are on a Monday, so you may not know by that meeting, but we're gonna have budget meetings. So I mean, you should have a good idea, but you can shoot for October, but I am not making any promises that it's done. That's just my hope. Because I can't predict what might come up. And I have more reasons on that why and what I was gonna get in my
I would
report
say
tonight,
let's-
and I can tell you now if you'd rather.
Yeah, I would say let's table it till October, our October regular meeting. And then we'll either know where we're at or we won't, we can table it again.
And I can run budget numbers in that budget prep. We can run numbers both ways. We can throw him in as full-time with benefits and you can see how everything shakes out, and we can keep him as part-time. We can take him out. We can run any scenario you want so you can see the numbers. That's
Right.
That would be
Well,
the
right now,
beautiful
I'm
thing
just
about that
looking at getting
program.
a correct, pretty close estimate as what we can, you know, because we have to include a lot of different things in the budget this year. And so I'm looking at those numbers and where it's
Yeah,
gonna
we need to get
end up
everything
at.
in
And
there
we have to get
right.
everything in there and get it in there correctly.
Yeah.
Because, and thank God for the budget set, because that
Yeah, it's
was,
gonna make a huge difference.
yes, it is. Okay,
Anyway, I make that. Until October.
okay, so we have a motion and
And then I'll second it as well.
to table that approval until October regular meeting. Okay, thank you. Jan,
You have your cash report, you have your claim approval list, you have your claims by vendor report.
Did you vote on that?
on what? Oh, I'm sorry. So, I'm still at home with medication. Yeah. We have a motion and a second to approve tabling the full-time employee. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Jan,
You
please.
have your budget versus actual, and your expenditure versus actual, and your revenue versus actuals in your packet. And that is that all I have. Trying to get makes sense. And if the person wants to speak about the budget, you can now.
I would love to, about several things, actually. So I've got a message into Matt from Whitley. He agreed the last time we talked, or the time before, to come out and go through some of the journal vouchers in the system with me. I have a feeling that big amount that you're off is actually due to incorrect lines in a JV. And that's Matt's feeling too. Because those JVs are from the grant monies, and I've not dealt with a grant program like yours, I don't feel that I'm qualified to look at those JVs and know for certain if they're right or wrong. But Matt is, and it's sort of out of his scope of the audit. He's willing to do it to help get us correct as far as balancing your cash to your system. So he and I are gonna find a time to do that. We're gonna go through them. I'm hoping that actually fixes most of your major balancing issues, is by fixing those few JVs, journal vouchers, and then we'll go forward. We'll pick a month. We will get everything balanced. He'll do his audit. If they decide they want Norm to then do an AFR on top of that, then Norm will do one. He's hoping that local government services kind of forgoes it because it's gonna be audited numbers, so there's not a lot of point to an annual financial report at that point. But we'll see how that all shakes out. So that's my hope, is sometime in the next few weeks, Matt and I will be meeting and going through that, and then we'll set a time for the audit. Probably I'm gonna have to come help with the audit. And it's gonna be grueling. It is, because we don't know where anything is in the files, and they're gonna ask for all kinds of things that potentially the two of us can't find. We're gonna do the best we can. We're gonna get through this audit, and I'm hoping that they will kind of be lenient on us. And I know when I had my first audit and there were things that I wasn't there for, and I would say, well, I looked for this and I can't find it and I don't know. And they would say, okay, let's just move on. So I think there's that transition period. I'm hoping this auditor as well notices that there's a transition and we'll do what we can do. The other thing I was starting to look ahead towards the budget, and I was looking at your certified taxable values from past years, and they don't make sense in my mind. And maybe that's me, and maybe that's them, but I called the Department of Revenue over in Red Lodge for some clarification, and what I'm looking at doesn't seem to be the same as what she's looking at, so now that I'm back and available, June and the first part of July are insane busy for me personally, and it's busy as a clerk, so I've been crazy. I was hardly here in June. You see my invoice, it's like 3 hours, I think. July's gonna be different.
Just for a
Yeah.
second, I'm gonna let Tim take over for this.
Okay. So I'm gonna be back a lot more in July. I gotta get through a review that we put on this weekend, and then I'm back. So I'm gonna go over to Red Lodge and meet with Department of Revenue and see if I can't figure out some of this mill value stuff that isn't making sense to me. So once I get that figured out, then we are on track to start your budget. And that's what we'll be focusing on mostly after we get through the audit, is your budget. And like I told you before, I really hope to have it done by October. But also, like I said before, this was years in the making of things getting off. It may take me a year or more to get it right. So October is my hope, but if it takes till December or January, then it takes what it takes. We just have to get it right. And that's what I want to do. So that's kind of all I have. Do you have
I agree,
questions?
we need to get it right. We
yeah.
need to know where we're at.
Mhm.
That's kind of the bottom
It's
line.
really tough to operate when you don't know how much money you have, and I'm sure Jay's doing a great job, and I don't want to ace him out of the job, but I'm really hesitant to see you guys make major financial decisions without truly knowing where you are budget-wise. That's scary to me. So that's why I really am a proponent of don't buy anything you don't absolutely have to buy until you're sure where you're at. So, but any other questions for me?
Anybody have anything?
Cool. Well, anytime, let me know if you come up with something. I'll try to be back in August and update you again. Hopefully, we can make some headway by then. So, but I'm gonna get out of here if you're done with me.
Thank you.
See you guys.
I think I can cover it.
So bring me water. I'm sorry.
There's someone looking at
Too bad, Diane Quinn. Application for special
I
events.
guess it's, excuse me, sorry, I should have brought this up so she could make you guys a copy, but this is the kind of outdated thing that I thought you were gonna.
I mean, sitting there trying to read that stuff on the door is extremely difficult. They need to be on the internet consistently. It's not fair to either cut it out or make it a minimum priority. And we need to have key on the weekend when we need it. Post the meetings because that's the requirement. I'm really tired of not getting any cooperation from City Hall.
Nobody's asked us for a key, so don't say you haven't had any cooperation.
Come on.
You haven't called me and asked me for a key or set up a meeting time or anything else, and don't give me that crap.
I didn't call you
And have
directly,
they called
but
you?
we have tried to set up meetings and have them posted, and keys are not available, or combinations are not available. Those are facts.
No, I understand your frustration. Part of it's not, they give me the combination, I had it wrong last time, okay? Then we were able to get in here and we posted it. It was a matter of, I got the combination wrong. At that time, we couldn't even meet as a committee.
Okay, well, then that means we get a guarantee, that we can open this place up on the weekends when we post it.
If you
That's
let
what
us
we
know
need.
ahead of time what time you're gonna be here and what day you're gonna be here on the weekend, so that we can have somebody here to open the door for you.
Well, I would think that it'd be easier, what I have to do is notify Jan, and she
If
can
they
provide
just
it.
give me the combination of front door, and I think Jan has, I can be here. I'm a member of the committee, I'll be here, I'll get them in, okay? So it's just a matter of posting, okay?
We gotta have this done right. I mean, this is not fair to the community to not have public meetings on all of these things, especially as all of these other things, they're gonna get more ticklish. We've got to have public meetings because it's the only right thing to do. They've got to be open. This place has to be open on the weekends so people have access to come here.
Elton, I think we've worked it out, okay?
I hope so.
I'll make sure that I'm here. We'll schedule the next meeting where all of us can be there. And you as well, because we're getting into zoning. Okay, I'd like your input. And anybody else, all right? And then we'll post it as required.
Aaron?
I'd like to make a suggestion that you move your employee report further up on your agenda so that everybody is aware of your financial availability before like Jeremy and them start making requests for money and other items that come along. Not a big deal, it's just be more informal to have your finances available prior to other suggested votes.
Well, as you heard tonight at our council meeting, we've been working on correcting a lot of that last 10 years stuff. And actually, we won't even know exactly how much we have available
I get that. That's
until
not the
next month.
point.
But if you want to look at the financials, all you have to do is come in and ask Jan for a copy of them. She'll be glad to give them to you.
That's not the point. You guys do a financial report after, say Jeremy's asking for money to do something. When then Kristen gives a report that says, hey, maybe we should hold off. So now you're getting information that would be pertinent prior to that being presented.
I see what you're talking about, yes. But that was just, we were looking at hiring, full-time.
Right, so you're looking at hiring somebody, but you haven't had a financial report. I think your financial report should come prior to Jeremy giving his statement so that you have
Well,
your
so
finances.
far, what we're looking at right now is we don't have a shortage in our finances to hire full-time. But I agree with the council that we can table it and look into it further. So, yeah, and your comments are appreciated. Thank you.
You're meaning adjusting the agenda, correct?
Yeah, just move your employee report
And
above
they have all
anybody
the,
else.
they have reports in their packets that tell
Right,
them.
but they don't get the other verbal input like Christian was able to say,
Well, no,
present, or
and that's
you
gonna
may be
change.
able, yeah, but you may able to have
Eventually.
presentation still.
Yeah. That will change eventually when we get everything on board.
Any other comments? Jim, did you have anything?
No.
No? Anything?
Motion to adjourn.
The next guy set up a meeting date,
The
Oh.
5th of August, huh?
5th of August.
Or the fifth of Missy, whichever comes first, okay?
So I have a motion to adjourn. Next meeting date is on the 5th of August, 2019, 7 o'clock. Do I have a second?
I'll
Meeting is adjourned.
Can I take something to read?
Oh, yeah, it's just a matter of reading it through and see the total.
Oh, really? Okay, so they didn't do anything about it?